Welcome back to Inside the 12. I'm Madison Hawk alongside Pete Souza, and now we have a very special guest that's going to join us. He is the commissioner of the Big 12 Conference, Brett Yormark. Welcome to the show. Such a treat to have you on. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thrilled to be here, and thank you both. Really appreciate it.
Happy Halloween to you as well. It's nice to see you haven't gotten your costume just yet.
I don't have my costume on yet, but again, happy to be with both of you, and look forward to having a nice chat this morning.
Yeah, well, let's dive right in. It's been an exciting and unpredictable season for the Big 12 as two undefeated teams sit atop the conference ranks, and BYU and Iowa State. How impressed have you been with those two programs and what they've been able to accomplish so far?
Really impressed with both programs. I'm not sure that either one was picked to be this high in the rankings, but that's football. You think about BYU, they have a great quarterback, great leadership skills. They're number 2 in our conference in offense. They're putting a lot of points, and their defense is pretty good too. But all in all, I mean, they have played really well despite injuries in some key positions. And then you look at Iowa State, they don't make mistakes, and they lead the conference in defense. And I'll be visiting Iowa State here in the next couple of weeks. I try to visit every school once. I've been to BYU. Their fans are so happy and so thrilled based on how they're playing. But I look forward to being at Iowa State here in the next couple of weeks. And we're just excited that those two teams are playing so well.
Commissioner Yormark, we're starting to see some separation among the top teams in the conference. But you look at the standings, it's tough to find an easy out. People throw around the word parity all the time when talking about the Big 12. Can you explain to people how that has become a strength of the conference, that parity?
Well, thank you. I think it's a great strength. Last July during media days, we were pretty profound in saying that we will have the deepest conference from top to bottom. There'll be incredible parity, and that the month of November is going to be quite magical as different scenarios unfold as it relates to who's going to show up in Arlington on that first Saturday in December. And I think we've delivered that and more. If you just look at, the lead changes during conference play in the fourth quarter, we lead the country in lead changes. It just shows the parity, the depth, the competitive spirit across our conference, and that, every game matters. Listen, over time, I do think certain programs are going to ascend and break away from the pack. But right now, parity is great, and each week matters.
And now we have the playoff expansion that's going to begin in December. The winner of the Big 12 title game is, of course, guaranteed a spot in that 12-team playoff expansion. But there's still a great shot, because when we talk about that parity, that there might be one, if not two, other Big 12 teams that can find their way in. How do you see the conference stacking up for the college football playoffs?
Well, I'm excited about it. First of all, want to see this 12-team format unfold. I've said that publicly. It's a very exciting time for fans. It's keeping the interest, around many programs a little longer because everyone has a shot, and especially in a conference like the Big 12. We started this season thinking that we would have more than one in that 12-team format, and I think it's playing out just as we had hoped. You look at the standings right now. We've got 2 teams in the top 11, BYU, Iowa State. We've got others that are knocking on the door. You look at K-State, you look at Colorado, they're playing extremely well right now. So our goal is to have more than one, and I think we're on pace to do just that.
Commissioner, I know you like to live in the moment, right? It's like next game up. But when you take a look back and take a macro view of what's happened to this conference since you took over, right? The expansion, all the different time zones the Big 12 is in, basketball, football, perennial powers. Do you sit back and think, wow, we have made a difference here? This conference is elite. And there was a time where people weren't sure if that was going to be the case.
Well, I appreciate that. And I will tell you that I often say to my colleagues, be happy, but never satisfied. And I live by that mantra. And I am happy. If you think about what we've done the last 25 months, we've done a lot to transform this conference and to give our fans a lot to cheer for. But we're not done yet. I mean, there's so much more work to be done. And, I often look at us as a bit of a mature startup. We're in our 29th season. And when you compare that to some of the legacy conference, we truly are just getting started. And I'm excited about our future. I think we've set up our future in all the right ways. We've got a long-term deal with ESPN and Fox. They're great partners. They're elevating our schools and our narrative. You said earlier, expansion has led to across the ecosystem for us to get better. Football, we got deeper. Basketball, men's and women's, we got better. And our Olympic sports are starting to really thrive. So very excited about our future, excited about our 16 schools. And for our fans, they should be very bullish on our future.
Absolutely. You should be excited, and you should celebrate those wins as well. And we pointed out at the beginning of the show, 4 teams in the Big 12 already bowl eligible, with 4 more teams just 1 win away. Commissioner, thank you so much for your time. It was such a joy to have you on the show. Enjoy the rest of the season.
Thank you for having me.